Welcome to Soul Conversations with Z, Healing in the Raw, where we keep it raw, real, and unfiltered. I'm Zachyra Rodriguez, a trauma specialist and marriage psychotherapist, and this is a space where we dive deep into the messy, yet beautiful and often difficult parts of life. Here we challenge ourselves to face our fears and dig deeper into self-discovery. I'm no newbie. I've navigated many rocky roads and consider myself a recovered traumaholic. Life hasn't been easy, but I truly believe that everything happens for a cause greater than ourselves. Whether you're navigating with grief or grappling with trauma, healing from attachment injuries, or working on your marriage, we're here to unpack it all. No sugarcoating, just honest conversations about the struggles we face and the growth that comes from them. You matter, you are loved, even before your existence, and you're created to do great things. So grab a seat, my friend, take a long, deep breath, and let's get real together. So let's begin. All right, so welcome to Soul Conversations with Z, Healing in the Raw. And I'm so excited because we are doing another episode. And today is going to be a little bit more, how can I put this? It's going to be a little bit more raw. We actually brought the tissues out. We have tissues there. We have tissues here, just in case we need them, because we are going to be talking about grieving through the holidays. So, we just celebrated Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving? I didn't get a chance to ask you before.
It's my first year not hosting.
Oh, okay.
I am always the host.
Okay.
I gave up that job this year.
Good for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I actually took a nap. And I got to see what people do on a holiday when they're not hosting.
So you went to
got to participate in the cards. I got to take a nap on the couch when you get the itis.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was very nice.
Did you go to someone's house?
I did. I went to my sister's house.
You went to your sister's.
Still cooked a lot of food.
Okay.
Brought a lot. But
okay.
I kind of got to sit back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was nice this year.
All right. So, as everyone knows, my name is Zachyra Rodriguez. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, and I do a lot of work in terms of with grief, with relationships, also with anxiety and depression. And one of the biggest things, and this grief is just so close to my heart, and it's kind of eerie, right? Just to be able to say that it's close to my heart. But, when you've been through so many different, situations and challenges in life, you learn that I define grief kind of like a baby. And it's kind of like you don't give your grief to anyone because you can't trust everyone with that grief because they cannot handle it. So before we dive in, I want you, Kim, to just share a little bit about who you are and, so we can kind of get to know you and the audience can kind of get to know you a little bit as well.
My name is Kim. I met Sister Sashi.
Sister Sasha, I haven't heard that name
I know.
long time.
I know, it's so weird to even say it. I think we're done away with that.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Man, through her son Anthony.
Yeah.
And our friendship that we developed when we were teenagers and through Fountain of Life, where we both attended. Currently, I'm a mom of 3. Yeah. My oldest baby will be 13 in 2 weeks.
The oldest baby, he's going to be 13. She's going to be 13. Oh my gosh.
December 19th.
Wow.
Shout out to Lydia. Happy birthday.
Wow.
And
December
my daughter.
19th.
Yeah.
It's interesting. December 19th was my dad's birthday.
Get out of here. It's a good birthday.
Yes.
My Sag girl, she's super fun. My creative.
Wow.
And then there's Viviana and Santino, and he's already 6.
He's 6 already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got a personality on him.
Santino, I love that name.
Yes, he's my old soul, little old man.
Okay.
And then when I'm not a mom, I'm a special ed teacher for grades K to 3, specifically autistic students.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it so much. Other than that,
what do you do for fun?
Currently, I love to travel to new places. I love to cook.
Yes.
I love cooking.
Wow.
I've been trying concerts, anyone I can go to.
Okay.
I just went to my first solo concert ever by myself.
Really?
Pushed myself out of my comfort zone and attended a concert by myself. It was weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't want to miss it. And nobody else could go. And I was like, no, just try it.
That's awesome. Good for you. I love that for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
I think that sometimes we end up not doing certain things in life because we're waiting on other people.
Right.
Yeah. So good for you.
It was like an out of my comfort zone
Wow.
experience.
Good for
I was so proud of myself for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, what else can I do?
Yes. And you were just like, okay, that's it. I'm
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you went, how was that?
It was nice. I ended up, there was a mom next to me who came by herself, kind of made conversation. So you guys kind of
like
I was like, let's go. We're moving up.
Yes.
Just like grabbed her arm and was like, come on, we're going.
That's
you just
awesome.
find people,
Yeah.
you know. That was nice.
That's nice. Yeah. So I know we were talking a little bit, in the conference room before we kind of came into the recording room. But, I want to ask you, because I know I did actually before, and I told you, what, let's just save it for the podcast. So how is your heart doing right now? Because I know this is a very, close topic to your heart. So how's your heart right now?
Like you said, I'm very familiar with grief.
Yes.
I think I know that more than most other things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But I think in the holidays, it's the hardest because it's just days where you're filling it with family.
Yeah.
And a lot of my grief is both of my parents, so not having parents during the holidays is very difficult.
Wow.
It's a weird thing. Where do you go? What do you do?
Yeah.
That's a hard thing.
Yeah. So I guess growing up, Christmas and the holidays was
weird.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember holidays being enjoyable ever as a kid.
Yeah.
So I almost became like a control freak for holidays once I had kids.
Making sure that everything is in order.
Always. I'm going to host. I get to dictate who's there.
Yeah.
I make that space entertaining and enjoyable and light.
Safe.
Yeah. And most of all, safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
tell me a little bit about what experience, do you have with grief? Because I know you said your parents, but I know that in addition to that, there's additional friends and, and I know we were talking earlier, you were like, I don't even know which one to talk about.
Yeah. Because your parents are fundamental.
Right.
They're your parents. On top of that, your son.
Yeah.
I grieve Anthony every day.
Yeah.
That's hard to process. And then more recently, one of my best friends of 20 years, Jade.
Jade.
Yeah. And that one's hard too, because she, took her life.
Yeah.
And that's something you can't really process.
Yeah.
That's been my struggle this year is trying to understand why, where where she was at in life.
Yeah.
That she made that choice.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
So that's a hard one to deal with.
So are those the four the main four, I guess, that you were pretty much,
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, your parents, and
my dad died when I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 26 years.
Wow.
Yeah. But he died of a drug overdose. And I think I don't have many good memories of him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because I was just too young.
Yes.
I think in those last couple years of his life were not good ones.
Right.
And then my mom, it'll be 10 years.
It'll be 10 already. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 10 years, June 8th, which is weird. It's a decade of your life.
Wow.
And it doesn't feel like it.
Right. Because it just goes by, right?
It was yesterday. It's last month. And then other days you're like, man, I've lived 10 years without my mom.
Wow.
So weird.
It's like do you think that you ever get used to that feeling or?
No.
How do you cope?
I think I use the loss as a driving force of just I want to make her proud. I want to give her a legacy that, is worth, being proud of. Because unfortunately, out of 6 kids, not many are doing too much with their life. And I didn't want to be another one.
Yeah.
She was a wonderful mom. So I need to make her proud. She poured a lot into making sure I was somebody at least.
Wow.
So I use that as a driving factor for sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to be just like her as a mom. So just trying to carry all the love that she put into me, into my own kids and the people around me.
Yeah.
Grief is heavy.
It is.
It's heavy.
It's very heavy. And I think that if if you haven't been there, you don't want to be there. I mean, we're all going to be there one day.
Yeah.
But I think the hardest thing, at least like for me, as far as like grief, it's like you're loving and you're living with this memory.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you're like stuck in the past, but you're in the present.
Right.
And kind of like what I said earlier, that you can't really share that with everyone. People only see the outside, right?
Yeah.
But you can't really share that with everyone because, again, it's so delicate and so sacred, kind of.
Yeah.
So you don't just hand it over to anyone, because sometimes when you do that, people really don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, and it ends up hurting more.
It's true.
Than helping.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So now that you spoke about your friend Jade, was it this year that
it was April of last year?
Yeah, so it's also very, very recent as well. So as you're navigating, like through this grief, and what do you think has been like one of the hardest thing for you?
That like when somebody dies and you just feel so out of control, like you can't change it.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to change that.
Yes.
And that is so like debilitating.
Yes.
For somebody who tries to like.
You tried to control, because that's what you were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah. For most of my life, I didn't have any. So I like really get stuck in that of like, I can't fix this. And it makes me feel squirrely.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And I think spent a year just really trying to process.
Right.
And her parents were really fundamental in that.
Yeah.
They gave me her iPad.
Oh.
And I was able to kind of go through it and get a glimpse of where she was.
Yes.
And see a lot of things.
Was that helpful?
Yeah, it was. Because I was able to kind of see her thoughts and where she was in life and why she felt that way.
Yeah.
She left a lot. She was very smart. So she wrote a lot and kind of really broke it down, why she felt that way.
Okay.
And you kind of like, I wish she didn't do that, but I see your choice and I see why you felt that way.
Yes.
And sometimes, especially with people who take their life, like sometimes there really isn't anything you could have done.
Yeah, that's a tough.
And I had to accept that.
That's a tough one. Yeah, to sit in that and be able to say, because there's so many different layers to that, right? There's anger, there's pain, there's hurt, there's like so many layers and, what ifs, a lot of what ifs, right? Just bargaining, and going back and forth, and I'm reminded of, for me, it's been Anthony and my dad and they both had my heart, and I had a brother also that passed away. I want to say it's been, I can't remember, maybe like 20 years now that he passed away. Yeah, maybe it's been like 20. And just so interesting because, he passed away. And then as far as like I'm talking about like those that have been like really close to me, and then, Anthony, and it's been 8 years now since he's been gone. And that, as you know, that just came out of the blue as far as like how he got sick and in 3 weeks he was gone, like literally. So unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, in itself, it has been it's felt like crawling while you're walking and stopping and a lot of pauses. Lots and lots of pauses. And then my dad, who I'm really close to, he passed away 3 years ago. And that was hard because he did have like, heart challenges and stuff. Right. And I remember I was like, Daddy, I have to come to Panama. And he was like, no, don't worry about it. No te preocupes. I'm okay. You stay and you work, do what you have to do. And Kim, when I got to Panama on a Wednesday, I remember I got in like at 9:00 at night. The next day I'm going to the hospital to do all these like transactions and get him moved to another hospital. And can you believe at 4:00 in the morning, we got the call that he was gone. Yes.
Oh, no.
And I grappled with that because I'm like, Lord, like, why? You couldn't give me like just like 5 more hours to see him.
Right.
So that was hard.
Yeah.
And faith and grief sometimes it could be very confusing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes. Very, very confusing.
Yeah.
And that's when you have to really, really hold on to your faith.
Yes.
Because that's what you have. That's all you have. And so that has been very, very, it's been a very challenging road, but I look back today and there's just so many different things, and I don't know, for you, have you had like any regrets, any things that you wish you would have done different, or maybe something that you can say like that you've learned about yourself throughout this process?
A lot. But I think like losing your parent, especially when you're really close to,
Yeah.
it alters your like DNA almost. Like that's what it feels like.
Yeah, speak about that.
Like your mom carried you, like who birthed you, like that's gone.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird like feeling.
Right.
And when they're gone, it's like you don't know who you are.
Wow. So you're like trying to figure out your identity.
Oh yeah. I felt like it was like completely changed.
Wow.
Like it altered me completely.
Yes.
Where I was just like, I had to like refigure that out again.
Yeah.
Like, who am I without my mom?
Wow. Yeah, and we were just talking about that, right? Because it was like, I remember some of the rediscovery process, right? I had to really learn as far as like, who am I now that Anthony is not here? My firstborn, my baby, the one who would call me and just say, hey, Mom, I just need to check in with you, right? Like, who...
Mama's boy.
Yeah, mom.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. He was a mama's boy.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So being able to learn and rediscover, that was very difficult. And I think also the regrets that I had, it was also with my identity, because I had to, with certain people, not with everyone. And I know people mean well.
Yeah.
But it was rediscovering my identity while others were trying to push me, that I needed to just hurry up and get through the process real quick.
Right.
Not even get through it, get over it.
Right.
Yeah. So I hear you as far as like figuring out like your identity, as far as like, who am I without Anthony? Who am I without this wonderful human being that was my heart and who I loved so, so much. And it's like, he's no longer here. Yeah. And that was tough. That was so, so tough, and kind of like rebuilding a whole life in the middle of your current life.
Right. While still having 2 other children.
Right. While still having 2 other children and trying to still mother them, parent them, being a wife, and
walk them through their grief.
Yes. So it was like, how do we do that? And it's interesting because in a previous episode, we speak about that with, I had Sashi on as well, and she was able to, share a little bit about that journey. So definitely, for those that are listening, feel free to tune in to the episode before this one that speaks about that and just that journey about like just the rediscovery process.
Yeah.
Because there was just so much pain, and like how you were saying, you can't do anything about it.
Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was 23 at the time when my mom passed.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And your dad had already passed at that point?
Yeah, my dad had passed when I was 6. Wow. So losing my mom at 23, and that was also very sudden. Yeah. She died of a heart attack. And she was in the hospital. We thought it was going to be fine. Like she was supposed to get out.
Right.
And I had went up to the hospital because my older sister finally was like, all right, I'm going to, give you the night to stay up with her. And I was like, oh my God, okay, that sounds great. I'm going to go spend the night with my mom. Like the kids are going to be with their dad.
Yeah.
And I got to the hospital and I had stopped to get flowers for her. And I was on the phone with her and she's like, I'm just going to like rest. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I was trying to give her some time to be alone because everybody was, in her space for the 3 days she was there. And on my way in, she was in the ICU still. The door's open. I walk in and her room was front and center, like once the door's open.
Yeah.
And as soon as I walked in, they were working on her. She had coded.
Wow.
And I was the only one there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
And it was like one of those moments where time just stops.
Yeah.
And you're just like watching what's going on.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
Deja vu over here.
Yeah. And I'm calling everybody under the sun.
Yeah.
And no one's answering.
Wow.
And it was just like one of those moments where I'm like,
You're
okay,
all alone.
I'm going to stand outside this room and I'm going to pray.
Yes.
Like, she's going to hear my voice. It's going to wake her up, you know?
Wow.
And I just stood outside that room praying.
Wow.
I was like, either it's going to usher her in or it's going to bring her back.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And sometimes we pray and God does answer. He just doesn't answer according to how we want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, 10 years in, I'm grateful. Some days I'm like, I'm so thankful she's not here in a very unselfish way.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine the life she would live right now.
Yes.
It wouldn't be a fair one or one she's deserving of. So I'm like, some days I'm just like, what? She's in heaven.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for her, you know?
Like, I'm still here.
Myself, but I'm happy for her.
Yes.
And I've kind of like tried to make it that mindset of like, what? She's in heaven.
Right.
Like,
but it doesn't take away the fact that you're like longing for the presence of, right?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with your kids.
I'm sad. I'm struggling. But
Wow.
for her, I'm happy.
Yeah. As you're talking, I'm just thinking about, that moment also when Anthony went ahead to heaven, we never expected it. Yeah. And it was just such a moment also when he coded, and it was just horrible. I remember my husband, he's like, you need to come, because I was sleeping in the lobby and I was just taking a little break. And I remember running through the ICU and seeing this woman on the phone. And I'm like, do you not see what is happening right now?
Right.
And you're like running through a movie, but everyone is kind of like doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And you're desperate trying to figure out, and I remember I called, I think it was Pastor Matt, and I can't even remember. I think I called my sister and I was like, I just need you guys to pray. I just need you guys to pray, you know? And the first holiday that was just horrible, because again, when you go back to the identity and trying to figure out who you are and how you're going to do this, because here come, he's gone, and now the holidays and birthdays are coming up, because it was literally like 2 weeks before my birthday and my husband's birthday.
Yes.
And, we're really big on birthdays.
I know you are. I know you are.
We are like, birthdays are like holidays for those that don't know us. And that was rough. And then all these holidays came, and Christmas came. Mm-hmm. And I remember I had a friend that she had taken me to go like buy things, and we were putting up the Christmas tree. And at one moment I just paused and I just had to stop, because I'm like, I am doing this. It's kind of like your brain is confused. Are you happy putting up a Christmas tree? Or are you grieving your son that's 24 years old that should have been there?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how it's been for you, like during, like your first holiday without your mom.
I remember them all. I remember them all. And my first birthday was a month after my mom passed. And I had all my friends over. Anthony and Jovan were there.
Wow.
And I remember like singing happy birthday. And like, the lights go off.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there and you're like, I don't hear a voice that I would normally hear.
Yeah.
So weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they just let me have my moment.
Wow.
Just cry it out. And the next year I'm crying because Anthony's not there.
Yeah. Wow.
Because he was there every birthday.
Yeah.
All my kids' birthdays, all my kids' baby showers. Like, he didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
Tell
us a little bit about that relationship with you and Anthony.
Started more romantic than anything. We talked, right? That's what we call it when we're kids.
Talked.
Right, we talked for about 6 months.
Okay.
And we decided to not pursue it in that way because he was in his senior year of high school. I was supposed to be going to a college in Virginia.
Yeah.
And it was just like one of those things, like we're in places of life where we just got to continue.
Yeah.
I don't want you to miss out on a high school experience while I'm away at college and those kinds of things.
Yeah. It's interesting because I always wondered, like, were they dating?
Yes. He was an angel. He was so sweet. My 18th birthday came, and he was the first one screaming happy birthday at midnight on the phone.
Oh, yeah, we do
making
that.
a whole song,
Yeah.
making sure to get my favorite flowers and gifts, all these things. Like, he made sure we went out to Applebee's the next night because it ended up falling on a Wednesday. You know, that was our thing for the youth group was
Applebee's. Yes.
And he was such a gentleman.
Yes.
But even after, like, we just stayed really good friends.
Yes.
And it was just like there was a different layer of friendship because we had been emotionally open.
Right.
So it was just like there was no judgment ever.
Right.
Like, we saw each other in a different way.
Yeah.
And like, he stood by when I became a mom and when I did all these things when he didn't have to, you know, like, what boy wants to show up and hang out with your babies when you're 20 something years old?
Yeah.
But he did.
Wow.
And my girls called him Theo Anthony.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I remember.
And we still address him as Theo Anthony.
Wow.
Always.
Wow.
I'll never let them forget that part at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I love him.
Yeah. Ooh. Need a breather.
He raised a beautiful, beautiful son.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Wow. So, you know, as we're talking about, you know, grief and the holidays and, you know, how do you think that, you know, grief has affected, you know, the holidays and, you know, are there any like specific challenges that you find yourself, you know, going through?
Yeah. It's changed because my siblings were all older when my mom passed.
Yeah.
And it kind of like fell apart. You know, there was no glue to hold it.
Wow.
And I tried to be that glue for a while. I hosted the first Thanksgiving, the first Christmas, the first Easter. I made sure every single sibling's birthday was celebrated in my house.
Wow.
Every single one.
Yeah.
I had everybody over for dinner. I bought them a cake.
And you're the youngest.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it wasn't really reciprocated, you know, when it came to my birthday.
Wow.
And so it was just like, I'm working so hard to hold this family together, but for what?
Did you feel that you had to do that?
Yeah.
For your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think she always said, like, your family is important, like, your siblings are important.
Yeah.
But they were in a lot of them are in addiction, and so that's hard in itself. And it wasn't creating safe spaces for my kids to try to, you know, wear myself out, putting people in our space that really weren't healthy.
Yeah.
So I kind of just pushed that to the side and let my kids become the focus.
Right.
Holidays were hard. There's always somebody missing, you know, the cooking, the warmth, the mom.
Yeah.
Because I don't really remember holidays without my dad. But without your mom is different.
Right.
You know, your moms are the ones who make the holidays special.
Right.
They are the magic.
Yeah. So what rituals have you done, you know, to like for your own family now? Because it sounds like you try to make it extra special. So can you share with us a little bit of like those rituals that you've kind of implemented?
Well, I try to like make sure my kids are involved in the cooking. My mom always, I think, gave me my love of cooking. So I'm always trying to pass that on to my kids. And you're peeling potatoes and you're over here mixing the mac and cheese. Like you're going to be in the kitchen. That's super important. You know, Christmas Eve, my mom always let us open a gift early and, you know, try to like do some baking or something fun.
Right.
We always decorate the day after Thanksgiving, not a day before.
Okay.
The day before. But once Thanksgiving's done, Christmas season's here.
That's it.
Yeah,
yes. You ate that turkey, that's it.
Yeah,
it's done.
That's it.
Okay.
Day before, don't ask me. Don't put on Christmas music.
Okay.
Right after Black Friday, baby, that's our day. It's Christmas music on. Tree is coming up.
Yes.
And so we spent the whole day decorating for Christmas.
Yes. Do you do that now? Like, is that a ritual that you have continued?
Always.
Okay.
Yeah. So my kids know the morning after Thanksgiving, we're decorating the whole house.
Yeah.
We're getting festive. We turned our Thanksgivings into giving back instead. Because instead of like, where are we going? What are we doing? Instead, we're like, we can have a meal any day.
Yeah.
So we do our outreach on Thanksgiving.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So we did that for about 6 years straight. Took this year off.
Yes.
So I don't want to pour from an empty cup.
Yes.
I stepped away this year.
That's awesome that you're able to recognize that.
Yeah. Other people took over for this year. And I was okay with that.
Yeah.
God knows our hearts.
Yes.
So I took a year off.
And he knows when you just have to be a Mary, not a Martha.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we become Marthas, right? And we want to do.
Yep.
But in reality, we need to be a Mary.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, because we could get into these Martha modes and do or try to do so much because we're trying to help others.
Yes.
But in reality, sometimes inside, we need the help.
Yeah. Yeah. That was this year. So I'm like, I'm going to step back.
Yes.
I'm going to hand this over.
Okay.
And God's going to bless it in that way. And I'm just going to stay over here and refill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything specific that you do like for your loved ones like during this holiday season?
We always have a picture of my mom. Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Gotta have her there. She's there in spirit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you do the empty seat or the empty chair?
No. I think it would be too painful to look at.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we do the empty chair. We actually have like a little portrait of Anthony and we actually leave it on the dining room table. But he's just so present in every single thing that we do.
For sure.
You know, I think that we have learned how to still incorporate him in so many different areas. And, you know, as you know, like we started the foundation in his honor. And for those that don't know, it's called the Anthony's Legacy of Love because he just poured so much into the community.
Yes, he did.
You know, into others. And he was just so involved. And we continued that legacy. And I remember, you know, when Anthony had passed, I remember standing beside his bed. And I remember I said to him, I said, Anthony, I've never promised you anything because I don't like to promise.
Right.
But one thing I will promise you is that your legacy will continue.
Yeah.
And I always remember that moment because when my kids were little, they would be like, Mommy, do you promise? And I'm like, no, Mommy doesn't promise.
Right.
But that was one promise that I remember making to him while he was already gone, you know.
And you kept it.
To heaven. And, you know, it's been, you know, just trying to continue, you know, the legacy and being able to pour out to others. And that's one way, like for us, that we continue to honor him. Okay. And even during like the holidays, we have a separate Christmas tree now. That we started, and it's become a memorial tree.
Really?
It has. Even our little Coco, our dog that passed away.
Yes.
Coco, you remember Coco?
Yes. No.
Coco, yes.
We love
passed
Coco.
away. I know.
Oh, I was on so many of those walks on the phone.
Yes. I know. Anthony would be like, oh.
Always had to walk that dog.
And, you know, after he passed, she would sit by the door and wait for him.
Sure.
She waited, I want to say at least like 2 years for him.
That was his baby.
Yeah, that was. And she waited and she would just wait for him because that's the time that he would come home and he would take her on his walks.
Yes, his nightly walk.
Yes.
Oh, that dog was spoiled rotten. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we created a memorial tree. And we pretty much like have pictures of him, like just fun moments of all the different things that he's like done, people that he loved. And we have the separate tree and it's really beautiful. My dad, you know, he got added on, you know, to the tree. And we recently had a really good friend that actually raised, you know, our kids and stuff. And she recently passed.
No.
I want to say like about 2 months ago.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
As well, yeah, due to cancer, Raquel. And so I just also got like a little ornament and we put it up there because it's just so beautiful to pass by and just see like the faces and stuff. Because I think with grief, people kind of shun, right? They shun away from grief and they don't want to hear it because they make it seem as if it's like so bad, or if not, people try to push you through the grief.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if you've ever had like an experience like that.
Oh, they do. That's why I was saying, being 23, all my friends had their parents, so they couldn't understand, you know, the sadness or the emptiness and sometimes the jealousy, right? Like, you're going to your parents' house? Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
You know,
like, what am I doing for Christmas?
I'm like, oh, I'm going nowhere.
Wow.
I'm going to stay here and I'm making Christmas.
Wow.
at 23 years old.
Yes.
It's weird. Sometimes you're like, I'm too young to do this.
My goodness, Kim.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
what held you during that time? Like having to, because especially like it's hard, grief itself is hard.
yeah.
And then when we're talking about like the holidays and getting through the holidays, because it seems like a lot of people, they're very like happy and festive, but then at the same time, like you're hurting. So how do you deal with that?
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, please fast forward. November to December. Like, get me through this.
Oh my gosh.
I'm over
yes.
it. So you don't want to sit there and think about like, well, how can I make this an enjoyable holiday this year?
Right.
Or
But then you also have your kids.
Exactly. So you have to like, I'm happy, I promise, or pretend you're like
Put
so
on the mask.
excited about Christmas. And you're like, I'm not. Like,
Yes.
it's a different feeling. It's
Right.
weird.
Yeah.
Because if I don't want to do anything that year, then nothing happens for you. And sometimes that's what I want.
So speak about that a little bit. I want you to elaborate on that.
Yeah. If
that was
I'm
a
not
lot.
the one pushing to make it special, it would not be special for them.
Wow.
It would be empty. So it's like some days I'm pushing myself to like, how can I make this something worth, their childhood?
Right.
They deserve to have all of the fun, happy childhood memories, not my grief.
Wow.
Mom's sitting in bed crying the day, away.
Yeah.
I don't want that for them.
Yeah. But does it have to be one or the other, or can it be both?
I sit in it a little bit during that day. Like, I'll cry while I'm making food and just say, oh, I miss my mom. The other day, my son, who, like I said, is 6, but he's a little old soul. We were laying in bed just being silly, and he brought up my mom. He's like very curious these days. He keeps asking me, how old were you when your dad died?
Wow.
And he's 6. And I'm like, I was 6, just like you. And he's like, well, how old were you when your mom died? And I'm like, I was 23. And he's like, huh, like you're 33. And I'm like, right. Like, it was a while ago. And then he was like, your mom sounds nice. And I'm like, baby, she was so kind. And I like try to like tell him a little bit about her, but I like started tearing up. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want him to see that.
Yeah.
But he was like, what's wrong? And I'm like, baby, I just miss my mom.
Wow.
And like I could see him tearing up a little bit. And I'm like, sometimes I'm just a little girl who misses her mom. And that's okay. And I like cried it out, and you could see him like tearing up. Like, oh no, mom's like about to cry. Like, she never cries in front of me. Yeah, but like it was cute to like see him like take that in and like feel sad for me too.
Yeah.
Sad for himself sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They miss not having grandparents too.
Yeah.
So.
Just hearing you say that, I'm a little girl
Yeah.
that misses her mom.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for us to realize that not everyone is, jumping around being happy,
not at all.
during this time. And, I'm just wondering, like, what do you wish that would have happened, that others would have noticed when you were going through, like, especially like during the initial stages of grief, and it's the holiday season?
Yeah, like show up a little bit more.
Wow.
But just like to listen. Sometimes just to be there. Sometimes can I invite you over for dinner? I know you're probably
like checking in to see if you're alone.
Oh yeah, because sometimes you do. You isolate. You're like, nobody's going to get this.
Right.
Nobody's going to understand this grief.
Right. So it's like checking in on others.
Yeah. Checking in is super important.
Yeah.
We don't know how people are feeling and how they're dealing with things. And some years it's heavier than others.
Right.
And that's, the hard part. I think when I got to like, my mom passed at 23. When I got to my 30th birthday.
Wow.
It was like, I could not take that birthday. It was like a whole new layer of grief because I'm entering a decade.
Yes, a new decade.
I've never had my mom in.
Right. And you're trying to figure it all out.
That was a weird time.
Wow.
Yeah. 30 was weird.
Yeah.
10 years is going to be weird.
Right.
That's like a whole nother like, ooh, weird 10 years.
I know.
So I'm like, I'm like in preparation of like, okay, how do I deal with those seasons too?
Yes. Yeah.
You feel like when death dates come up, you're kind of like, ooh.
And it's always like leading up, right? So when
Yeah.
you think about it, it's always about like the days or the weeks leading up, you start to feel a little bit off.
Yeah.
And it's like you may become a little bit more moody or angry or everything bothers you. And for me, I have to check in as far as like, okay, what date is it? And I always have it present. Like, oh my gosh, like, June 10th is coming up or Anthony's birthday is coming up. And for me, I do rituals. I'm really big on that. As you know, like we're really big on birthdays.
Yeah.
So of course. And it's just something about it that I think is just so important. So for us, I remember like the first year, as I said, that was really hard. But if like a specific holiday is coming up, I always try to be mindful. So even for people that are like very recent in their grief, it's like not overbooking yourself.
Yes.
Not overextending or doing, all these different things that you feel that you need to do, because we need to be able to give ourselves space, because you never know how you're going to feel in that moment.
At all.
So you have to have plan B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, you have to have those plan B. So what would you tell someone that's listening right now and maybe their grief, is very recent, or maybe it's been years, but they haven't really felt that they've been able to grieve? Like, what would you say to them?
You have to. You got to go through it.
Mm.
You have to sit in it some days. You have to get therapy some days.
Yeah.
Therapy was super important in my life. It took me a while to get there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I can't process this alone.
Right.
So I did years of therapy.
Yeah.
And that helped me sit in it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Journal. Look at pictures of them.
Yes, that's so important. Say their name.
I saw this video recently.
Yes.
And it was a guy who said his therapist told him to talk to it was his mom who had passed. Talk to your mom as if she's there, like in moments.
Yeah.
So there is times where I'm just like, Mom, and I'll talk to her and tell her about things in my life that's going on as if she's there.
Yeah.
I had that on a ride home from, I was coming home from the mall and I was upset.
Yeah.
And I was like triggered in something that felt super familiar. And I was like, Mom, and then just started telling her all about it.
Yeah.
I almost felt like she was there.
Wow.
Sometimes I'll go and take a blanket and I sit at her grave and I'll just lay there.
Yeah.
And I just lay there because I'm like, her earthly body's under here.
Yeah.
It's close enough. And I'll lay there and just chit chat. Like she is there. Oh, I talk her ear off.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's something I do because thankfully, the cemetery is close enough to my house that some days where I'm like, I just want to be close.
Yeah.
I zoom there with a blanket.
Wow.
And I'll just sit there for a while.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess we all pretty much try to find those moments of peace, but one thing that I have definitely learned, that joy and grief can coexist in the same heart. We don't have to choose one over the other. And they do coexist. And sometimes the joy would be a little bit more than the grief, and the grief sometimes will be a little bit more than the joy. And that's okay.
Yeah.
And really learning to understand that it's okay not to be okay.
Yes.
And now that, the holidays are coming up and people are planning, I definitely would have to say, for those that are listening out there, is that it's so, so important to be able to give the gift of presence, call someone, like how you were saying earlier, and check in. One of the biggest gift that someone gave me, I remember I had a friend and she said, do you want me to bring you breakfast or can I, take you out? And I didn't want to do any of the two.
Right.
But because she gave me a choice, that was so helpful, because a lot of people, you know what they say? If you need anything,
let me know.
Let me know.
Right.
I don't know what I know. Well, I don't know what I need.
And then you must feel like a burden also of like come over and
like,
feed
what am
me.
I?
Like,
yeah.
It feels weird.
And for people that don't like to pretty much seek help, right? Because I'm one of them,
Me.
right? Yeah, our hands are raised for those that can't see us. Yes. It's kind of like, I'm going to do this on my own.
Yeah.
Right? So definitely don't isolate.
No.
Because that's not also good. But for those that are listening, I would say definitely, don't wait on people to really reach out and be like, oh, okay, I'm in need of help. Like, how do you tell someone that's grieving during this time that they should reach out to you?
And also don't have the resentment if they don't, because not everybody understands it.
Yes.
and we don't know what people are going through also in their
Yes.
walk.
Yes.
So that was the thing. Don't get resentful
Yeah.
of somebody who's not in those shoes.
Yes.
Because you're like,
And
I
that's
want my
hard.
friends to
Yes.
call me or
Yes.
come over and just show up and know what I need.
Yeah. They're
But we
not going to
can't.
know.
That's not, it's
Yeah.
not real life expectation.
Yeah. And they're not going to know, right?
Right.
And that's why I think the importance of also like giving choices, that's so
That's a great one.
important. Being able to tell people as far as like, hey, what is it that you would like? Or, or also, and as I was saying earlier, as far as like saying their name, being able to
Yeah.
say, as far as like speaking about, oh, this is what we used to do, even like for you and your kids, like this is
Yeah.
what, my mommy and I used to do when we were growing up, and we can do this. And, just also including them, because I think that's a huge part of being
Yeah.
able to include them. I personally, I don't really talk to Anthony. I do remember him. For me, I think about like in scriptures, as far as like it tells you, like, you're not supposed to be talking, to the dead and everything else. Maybe I still need to unpack that scripture a little bit more. But for me, it's more like, wow, like, or I would say maybe something like, oh my gosh, you would like love this. Like when Sashi got married or Mickey got married, it was like, oh my gosh, like, what would it have been like if you would have seen this?
At a time.
So yeah. So those like the special moments. And I think regardless if it's like the holidays or just, moments in general, like those important moments, you're always going to feel the absence.
Yeah.
You're always going to feel the absence. But I think that your mommy would be very proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes, of how you're continuing to do life. And, and I'm definitely thankful for you for, coming and being part of, today's topic, because I know it's not an easy one. So I don't know if you have any like last comments for those that are listening to you.
I think everybody's grief is different.
Yes.
Every single person's. Like, you can't say to grieve in this way because everybody grieves differently.
Yes.
So that's like super important. Like, although it's helpful, everybody's process is different.
Right.
You can't expect somebody to grieve the same way they did or take the time that they did.
Right.
And just because you see somebody happy, outwardly,
that's a good one.
doesn't mean that's how they feel on the inside.
Right.
So I love when you always say, how's your heart? Because that's a different way to check in.
Yeah.
Because a smile doesn't mean somebody's happy.
Yeah.
As we know.
We wear that mask very well.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
Life has to go on, but check in on your people.
Yes.
Who grieve, especially during the holidays.
Right.
Because it's not always joyful for everybody.
For everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as a friend, find a way to help bring a little joy to it. Yeah.
That's good.
I have a good
really
village who checks in. So.
And that has kept you.
Oh, yeah. It has absolutely kept me. I had friends who showed up when I didn't ask for it. I have friends who dropped off food when I didn't ask for it.
Wow.
And so that has always been helpful because they know I don't ask for help friend.
Right.
So having people who kind of know your love language in the way you need to be checked on is important.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so interesting how God may not always give us what we need, what we want, but he would always give us what we need.
Yeah.
Always. Because we want certain things, but doesn't mean we're going to get it, but he will always give us what we need.
Yeah.
We may not even understand the why, as to like why this happened, but he would pretty much show us the how.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just one foot in front of the other, just getting up and
His strength has sustained me.
Yes.
Whew.
Yeah.
If I didn't have it, I'm telling you, I wouldn't know where I'd be, but God has been faithful. Faithful.
Yes. Amen.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Wow, Kim. Well, I thank you so much for coming on and just opening up your heart, because I know that this is not an easy topic. I know even before we started, we were already shedding tears as far as like when we were talking. And, I definitely thank you for even the friendship, even with Anthony, when I sometimes see, certain posts that you do as far as like, wow, I'm missing you today. And even his other friends that still do. So it just makes me, be reminded that there's still people out there, that the impact that he had also, and how his legacy continues. And for you just being so thankful is seeing your strength.
Yeah.
Throughout all the various losses also that you have experienced. And but thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. And hopefully we could bring you back.
I would love that. Yeah.
Hopefully we could bring you back. But thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. Thank you.